Good afternoon, my name is Edison Mendoza and this is UEES Sports. On this occasion I have a conversation with Diego Arcos, an Ecuadorian sport journalist with more than 30 years of experience on radio and TV. He is 55 years old. He works at TC Televisión and the Blue. He was a professional baseball player and is known for his direct style and passion for sports. Welcome, Diego.
Let's go!
First question. How and when did your interest in sport journalism begin?
Probably because I was playing baseball in high-level leagues. I was playing all around the continent and playing in college in the United States and also in Venezuela and in Cuba. And during those years, I was expecting to become a famous and millionaire baseball player, and after that, start working as a broadcaster of sports. But the plan didn't go the way I was planning. I wasn't that good, so I started working as a journalist, as a broadcaster early on in my life, and that's how it was. I mean, I was always involved in the sports. I love sports, and I was a kid growing up in Guayaquil in my neighborhood, playing all kinds of sports. Guayaquil was a different city during those years. We used to play tennis, soccer, football, baseball, skateboard, all the sports. So I'm just doing the same thing now in my work.
Wow, incredible. Second question. Do you remember your first professional experience in the media and what did you learn from it?
Probably it was, sometimes there were some kind of informal experiences, but probably the most important and formal experience was the Copa America 1993. It was a huge tournament here in Ecuador, and I was in charge of going to different cities like Ambato, Quito, and after that Guayaquil. And I do remember I was probably young, and I was trying to get all the interviews, and sometimes I got in trouble with some coaches from other teams because they didn't allow me to get in the practice and training sessions. And you start learning about how to work on those kinds of situations with coaches that sometimes don't want cameras or people watching the practice sessions. And it was a great experience for me, being so young and being able to be part of a huge group, a huge team that was working covering that Copa America 1993.
Okay. You have worked both radio and television. What difference do you find between two formats when the communications sports?
It's different. When you work as a journalist, you can do your radio, you can do television, you can do now social media, you can write, you can do a lot of things. Personally, I like to do a lot of documentaries, long documentaries about different stories, not only sports. But when you work on radio, probably it's a little bit more relaxed. Probably not anymore, because now you have cameras also on radios. But it's mainly the way you dress. It's mainly that people are not seeing you, just listening you. And in television, it's a little bit more formal. So it's that. But I try to be the same in both sides. That's my style. I believe I want to be always the same, even I'm doing radio or television.
What moment do you consider the most important or decisive in your journalistic career?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably there are a lot. Probably the first World Cup in 1994 was very important for me. It was a really hard assignment. People were complaining that I was so young to be part of the team that was going to cover the World Cup in 1994, and they were saying, "Why are you sending that kid?" Because I was a kid. I was 23 years old, and probably that was a turning point in my career, because I told myself I have to do a good work, I have to do a good job, because this is going to be people are going to be talking about this for the whole of my life, and that was a turning point in my life. No doubt about it. Being in the World Cup in 1994, being able to handle the pressure and being able to handle all those assignments and all those interviews you were supposed to do. And after that, every assignment and every games or tournaments you have to go, you have to always take with the same concentration, trying to be the best in all you do. But I would have to say that is the World Cup in 1994.
1994. Okay. You have covered major international events. Which coverage has impacted you the most and why?
The World Cups, the Major League Baseball World Series, the Olympic Games. On those games, you see a lot of passion. You see people from all over the world cheering for their teams, their countries. and it's when you start realizing how big and how huge sports are in the world. I'm a huge music and movie fan, so sometimes when I'm doing all those coverage, I also can see that how sports can reunite everything, and you see music involved, you see social stuff involved, and stuff like that. And there's nothing like the World Cup. Absolutely, there's nothing like the World Cup. After that, I will say Olympic Games and World Baseball Classic, NBA Finals, Copa Libertadores Finals, but there's nothing like the World Cup.
Why?
Because you see the passion of so many people of the world, 32 teams, 32 nationalities, 32 people working different and acting different with the ways they are in their countries. Suddenly they are in one city, in one country, cheering, partying every day, enjoying the games, crying. It's amazing. It's amazing because it's like a social impact when you go to that kind of games and you see that many people from so many places in the world reuniting for one game. You know, it's amazing. The atmosphere, the what you feel in the earth, it's completely different from any other tournament or sport.
What World Cup for you is the more important in your life?
As I was telling you, probably the first one because it was the turning point of my career. After that, we have to go to Germany when Ecuador did a great tournament, and everybody was after Ecuador, not only after the players but after the journalists. People were asking all day long questions to us. The organization was awesome, was incredible, and so Germany is always going to be special for Ecuadorians because the way the team played in that tournament. Then Qatar was also different because in Qatar the whole thing was only in one city. So it was really easy to get to different stadiums. You just went in the train, get to the stadium. Qatar was amazing. We will never have that experience again because the upcoming World Cups are going to be in different cities and countries, not like in Qatar that was only in one city. So everything was so easy in Qatar. So we could say probably United States is the first one that's a professional. Korea, Japan, the first with Ecuador. Germany, a special one, the best because what Ecuador did. And Qatar because it was different. The other World Cups also have so many experiences and things I remember, but I'm trying to talk about these ones that's what you're asking.
Okay. What motivates you to continue in sport journalism after more than 3 decades of work?
Yeah, there's always new challenges. Things are changing a lot lately. The way we do stuff and the way we cover the sports, the way we fit our works and our pieces with our countries. Many years ago, we were supposed to run to a track, put a cassette in a satellite, and we only have 20 minutes to send the whole footage to our countries. Now you just can take with your phone and push a button, and the footage is going to be in your country and everywhere in a couple of minutes. So I believe there is always new challenges, the new technology, the new personalities in sports. Things have changed a lot. I remember before when you were so able to talk with players and to talk with actors and protagonists of the games. Now it's so different because you have now agents, you have now general managers, you have sports managers. You have to talk with three guys before being able to talk with the guy you want to interview. So there are always challenges, and I believe I'm going to be involved in those challenges probably a couple more years.
How was Ecuadorian sport journalism changed from when you started until today?
That's a very good question, and I always like to talk about. In the early 90s, there were a lot of people that didn't go to college, didn't have the education, and they were sometimes the guys in the companies just got them and threw them to the street and tell them, we have you to bring back some sports stories. So it was a little bit empiric. I didn't like the way they were working during those years, and sadly, they they put this weight of people to think how you have to do, how you have to react and work and act as a professional. And it's been a lot. It's been a hard work for us to change that mindset of the people because that's not the way you have to work as a journalist, as a professional journalist. So during those years, I'm talking about late 80s, early 90s, there were a lot of people working in journalism that didn't go to college. In the past, probably 15 years or 10 years, finally, we start receiving the new professionals, people with academic formations, and things have changed a lot. The way they speak, the way they do their pieces, the way they do their reports for newspapers, for social media, for TV, for radio. It's a huge difference. And I believe that's something real good for the people, for the readers, for the viewers, for the listeners that finally got a better product. I believe we have now a better product.
Yes. What do you consider the main responsibility of sports journalists towards the public?
You have a huge responsibility towards the public. You have to really try to give them the best product, the whole story. You have to be professional when you go out and cover a story, not only what you think, but you have to give them the whole point of view. And that's a huge responsibility. The way you use your communication is so important right now. People just say things and you don't know what's going to happen when you throw your words to the air. So today we have to be real professional and really know how to handle and work with communications. That's something so important, not only for people that are working in journalism or communications, for everybody, for every field outside in society. You have to know how to work with your communication. It's so important.
On the other hand, the format of the LigaPro has changed drastically. What do you think about the new format of the LigaPro?
I don't like that many foreigners on the teams. I believe that's going to have a huge impact, bad impact in our sport. The guys that are working on the Liga Pro, as we were talking about the early 90s with journalism, now they are trying to be more professional. They're trying to involve more technology, and they're trying to just work for the better of the game and the league. I mean, on that road, they're going to have mistakes. That's going to happen. They're working. They're trying to do things, and we have to wait for the end of this tournament to probably after that start doing a huge, probably conclusions about how the tournament went. Changes are going to have. We're going to have changes every year, and let's wait for the final of the year. I don't like the 8 foreigners on the team, but besides that, I want to wait for the end of the tournament to probably have a better conclusion.
Okay, what do you think about the difficult period the club Sport Emelec is going through?
Oh, that tells you a lot how you need to really be know about sports management. It's not only a matter of being fan of the team and coming with a huge illusions and trying to tell everybody I'm going to work with this team. You have to know how to work in these matters. It's a matter of being a really general manager and know how to handle this kind of institutions, these kinds of business. And I believe in Ecuador, we don't have right now a lot of people that have those kinds of abilities or skills to handle teams. And we're seeing that a lot lately because they believe, I think, that it's so easy and it's not that easy. Oh, we'll find money, we'll find sponsors, and it's not that easy. That's why in the past years, we have seen teams with success because mainly they had good managers, good general managers that knew how to handle money, knew how to handle players, knew how to handle all kind of circumstances. And right now we're just seeing guys that are not qualified and are having these huge problems with these teams.
Other question. Independiente del Valle, the league leader, has 10 more points than Barcelona, who is in second place. What do you think about the large point difference between the first and second place teams?
I believe there are more points, but that's what we're talking. I mean, this is a team that works really well, that really like to invest, that Independiente, they are not thinking about winning and winning. No, they're thinking about the future. They're thinking about building good foundations, and they know that after that things will go easily and will go with no problem. Barcelona is a team that is always thinking we have to win tomorrow, we have to win the day after, we have to win the next week. They only think about what people are going to be saying. They don't care about having so many debts and wasting money in a bad way. And you see the difference. You see the difference when a team like Independiente start working, thinking about the future. We're not going to win this year. We're not winning next year. We're working to have a team for the next 20 years. And probably that's going to cost us 3 or 4 years of losing. That's what Barcelona needs to understand. But I believe Barcelona is always playing and acting and behaving mostly in the way their fans want them to do it, and that's caused them a lot of problems. And that's one of the main reasons you see that point difference in the positions.
About Barcelona, what is your opinion of the centenary years of Barcelona?
Sadly for them, didn't go the way they were expecting. 10 years, I mean, 100 years is something really huge to try to celebrate, but they cannot handle to win the tournament. They cannot handle to be successful in Copa Libertadores and in the Copa Ecuador. Probably I believe they couldn't be more responsible in Copa Ecuador. They didn't took that tournament the way they should have. But things didn't go the way they were planned in sports and the sports results. They did a great party. They brought a lot of former players. It was a beautiful night. The day they were celebrating the 100 years, and that's something they were able to control, to have a huge party. Then the other stuff they were not able to control to win the Copa Libertadores. They were not able to control to win the LigaPro. That's sad for them because people are going to be making jokes about that. Didn't go the way they were planning. If they were responsible or irresponsible, let's wait until the final of the year, at the end of the year.
And the last question, what advice would you give to young people who dream of becoming a sport journalist?
That if you want to be part of this profession, if you want to be a professional, you have to believe that you are doing a work for the community, not for you. A lot of people are involved in social media and in communications because they want to be famous. And that's not the main point of this profession. That's not the main point of what we do every day, every hour, every week. We have to work because we believe in stories. We have to work because we believe in the way we're going to handle those stories so people will be able to really receive a good product. Don't work for ourselves. Don't work for what we can become, or because you want to be famous, or because you want people to recognize you. Let your work do the work. Let your work earn the recognition. Do what you want because you have passion and you love it, not because you want to be famous.
Okay, thank you very much for accepting this interview, Diego Arcos.
My pleasure.